How much money are you actually losing when you sell your home as is? Have you ever stopped to think about that? It might be way more than you think. But here's the good news. In this video, I'll show you a simple formula that helps sellers get top dollar for their homes, even without fixing them up. So stick around. This could save you thousands. Hey, I'm Jake, real estate investor, and I work with homeowners every day who want to sell fast without wasting time or money on repairs. Whether you're thinking about selling your house in the next few days or sometime in the next 12 months, this video is for you. Especially if you're considering selling as is. Before you make that move, you need to know what it could really cost you and how to protect yourself. Let's break it down. Let's talk about the upsides of selling your home as is, because it's not all bad. For the right person, in the right situation, it can actually make a lot of sense. Reason number one, it's stress-free. You don't have to fix anything. Seriously, no contractors, no inspections, no back and forth over little things like chipped paint or an old roof. You just hand over the keys and you're done. It's perfect if you're overwhelmed or just don't want to deal with the hassle of repairs. A lot of people underestimate how exhausting home repairs can be, both mentally and physically. Selling as is removes all that from your plate. Reason number two, it saves a ton of time. Let's say you're moving for a job or going through a divorce. Maybe you inherited a house you don't want. Whatever the case, you probably don't have 3 to 6 months to make repairs, list it on the market, and wait for the perfect buyer. Selling as is means you skip all of that. You get an offer fast, you close fast, and you're out. It gives you the freedom to move on with your life, and sometimes that's the most important thing. Reason number three, no upfront costs. Home repairs can get expensive. A full renovation might cost tens of thousands of dollars, and not everyone has that kind of cash sitting around. When you sell as is, you don't have to touch a dime. No painting, no flooring, no plumbing. You're not gambling on repairs in hopes of a higher sale price, which, by the way, doesn't always pay off. Instead, you get a fair cash offer based on the condition your home is already in. So yeah, selling as is has real advantages. Less stress, less time, less money up front. But it comes with a trade-off. And that trade-off? Let's break down exactly how much money people lose when they sell as is and what you can do to avoid it. Let me give you a real example of when selling as is made total sense. I worked with a couple who had just bought a new home in Texas. They were relocating from California because of a job transfer, and everything happened fast. New city, new job, new house. But here's the problem. They still owned their old house in California. And they couldn't afford to pay 2 mortgages, especially with all the moving expenses piling up. Now, the California house needed work. The roof was about 20 years old and starting to leak. The kitchen was outdated, the carpets were stained, and the water heater was completely dead. They were thinking about fixing it up, but that would have taken weeks, maybe months, and cost tens of thousands of dollars they just didn't have. So instead, they decided to sell the house as is, no repairs, no stress. We found a local cash buyer, and within 2 weeks the deal was done. They walked away with the money they needed, and one less thing to worry about. Sometimes, peace of mind is worth more than squeezing out every last dollar. And that's the beauty of selling as is, no stress, no repairs, no waiting around. And if you are looking for a simple, hassle-free way to sell your home in its current condition, we can help. We buy houses as is for cash, and we close on your timeline, whether that's in 2 weeks or 2 months. Just click the link in the description and fill out a quick form. We'll get in touch, give you a no-obligation offer, and take it from there. It's really that easy. Now, as great as selling as is can be, let's slow down for a second, because while it is simple and fast, it also comes with a few real downsides. And I want you to know about them, so there are no surprises down the road. First, the most obvious one, you're likely to get lower offers. When you sell your home as is, you're basically saying, here's the house, take it or leave it. And that means the buyer takes on all the repairs. Naturally, they're going to factor those costs into their offer. On average, as-is homes sell for 10% to 25% less than fully prepped homes. But here's the thing, that discount usually isn't random or unfair. Most investors just subtract the cost of repairs they'll need to do, the same ones you'd be paying for if you listed it with an agent. Then they add a small margin for their time and risk. And that's it. In many cases, it's a reasonable trade-off. You skip the headaches, the the delays, the out-of-pocket repair costs, and in return, they get a little profit. So you're not losing money for nothing. You're basically paying for peace of mind. Second, selling as is can make some buyers nervous. Even if the house isn't in bad shape, the words as is send a signal. There might be problems here. And most traditional buyers, especially families or first-time homeowners, just don't want that uncertainty. They want something move-in ready. So right off the bat, your buyer pool shrinks. Third, the buyers you do attract will likely be investors or house flippers. They're not buying with their heart, they're buying with a calculator. They're looking for a deal that works for them, not necessarily for you. So the offers might feel a little low. But again, those numbers often make sense if you think about what you'd spend to fix it all up and go the traditional route. So yes, selling as is means you might take a bit less on paper. But for many sellers, that difference is worth the time, money, and stress it saves. And here's the part nobody really talks about. Let me show you the simple formula smart sellers use to price their home right, even in rough condition. It starts with one thing: understanding your market. That means doing what real estate pros call a CMA, a comparative market analysis. You basically look at similar homes in your area, same size, same style, same neighborhood, that have sold recently. That gives you a good idea of what your home could sell for if it were in tip-top shape. Let's say those homes are selling for $400,000. Cool, that's your perfect condition number. Next step, figure out how much work your home needs. And don't just guess. You want a detailed estimate, room by room. Paint, floors, roof, plumbing, outdated kitchen, foundation, all of it. If you're not sure, bring in a contractor or get a few repair bids. Let's say all of that adds up to about $50,000 in work. So here comes the magic formula. Fair price equals market value minus repairs and minus small margin. In this case, that would be for $100,000 minus $50,000 minus $5,000 equals $345,000. That's what a typical cash investor might offer you. They're covering the repairs, and they're making a little profit. And you're walking away with zero stress, no delays, no contractors, no inspections, and no showings. You just hand over the keys and move on. Now here's the cool part. I had a client in this exact situation. They priced their house low right around that calculated number. But guess what? Because the price was fair, it got a ton of attention. Multiple investors jumped in. They ended up bidding against each other, and the house sold $12,000 above the asking price, all within a week. So don't be afraid of pricing low. When done right, it can actually create competition and drive the final price up. That's the secret most sellers don't know. Start with solid market data, subtract real repair costs, add a small margin, and let the buyers do the rest. So here's what I want you to remember. Selling your home as is can absolutely work if you do it right. And that means being smart about two things. First, pricing it correctly based on its true condition. Second, being completely transparent with buyers from day one. That way, you're not setting yourself up for lowball offers or surprises down the road. And the truth is, most serious investors aren't trying to rip you off. They're just accounting for repairs they'll need to handle themselves, plus a little room for profit. In the end, you avoid the stress, the delays, and the upfront costs, and still walk away with a fair deal. If you're even thinking about selling your home in the next few weeks or months, let's talk. I'll help you figure out what it's worth as is, no pressure, no cost. Just click the link in the description and fill out a short form. And stick around for the next video, where I break down some real-life examples of sellers who sold as is and got great results.